What would happen if your state decided you don't need permission anymore to carry a gun? Well, that might be exactly where we're headed, because the Supreme Court just handed down a decision that could change everything. In a unanimous 9-0 vote, the highest court in America just delivered a ruling that's shaking up gun laws from coast to coast. And here's the wild part: the Department of Justice isn't fighting it. Multiple states are actually supporting it. This isn't just another court case. This is a major turning point that could mean the end of gun carry permits as we know them. And what happens after this could reshape the entire landscape of gun rights in America. Welcome to Survival Firearms, where we always put your rights, your safety, and the truth first. Let's get into what this really means. For more than 100 years, states have controlled who can carry firearms by making people get permits, whether you wanted to carry concealed or openly. You had to ask for permission first. But the court just ruled that this whole system might actually be unconstitutional. What the decision made clear is that your right to carry doesn't start after some government official approves you. It starts with the Constitution itself. Think about what permits really do. They create waiting periods, they cost money, and they put your rights in the hands of someone who gets to decide if you deserve them or not. All of this goes against what the Second Amendment is supposed to protect. A right that says shall not be infringed can't be locked behind some bureaucrat's approval. The way America handles gun laws is being completely rewritten, and it's starting with permits becoming a thing of the past. Now here's something that will really surprise you. The Department of Justice didn't fight this ruling. Let that sink in for a second. This almost never happens. Historically, the DOJ fights tooth and nail against anything that expands gun rights. But something changed this time. The DOJ quietly chose not to challenge what the court was doing, basically accepting the decision. Court documents revealed that DOJ lawyers actually believed permit systems were on shaky legal ground after the Bruen case. And get this, 15 states signed on to legal briefs saying they support moving to permit less carry. The same federal agency that used to enforce permit requirements is now stepping out of the way. This ruling didn't create the idea of permit less carry, but it gave it legal backing across the entire country. Up until now, states that allowed constitutional carry were often dealing with lawsuits, federal pushback, or judges trying to block them. But now constitutional carry isn't just something red states are trying out. It's a federally protected right. Blue states that make people jump through hoops to carry without good reason are now on legally weak ground. Any future laws that try to bring back permit requirements will probably get shot down fast. This is the green light constitutional carry has been waiting for, and it's already causing things to move quickly. The states with the toughest gun control laws are already in panic mode. Here's why this ruling has them worried. California's May issue system is basically dead. New York's strict concealed carry permit rules, which already got hit hard after Bruen, now have no legal foundation to stand on. Illinois, which is still dealing with lawsuits over magazine bans, is now facing a flood of new legal challenges over its permit system. The fallout started immediately. Within 24 hours of the ruling, lawsuits were filed in California going after both carry restrictions and training requirements. Sheriffs in rural areas are refusing to enforce permit checks. Gun rights groups are launching campaigns to strike down state restrictions using this ruling as their main weapon. There's a billion-dollar industry built around gun permits. Application fees, mandatory training classes, ID renewals. But that whole empire just took a serious hit. What's falling apart? Money from permit applications is drying up in red and purple states. Instructors who teach concealed carry classes are seeing people cancel left and right. State databases that track who has carry permits are losing their legal reason to exist. This was never really just about safety. It was also about money and control. And both of those are disappearing fast. The system that was built on asking permission is being replaced with a system based on constitutional rights. Some states aren't just happy about this decision. They're acting fast and smart to put this Supreme Court ruling into action in ways that will permanently change their laws. This isn't just symbolic gestures. It's real, practical action happening right now. Here's what states are doing. Florida's governor ordered the elimination of concealed carry permit requirements by the end of the year, calling the court's decision a course correction for the Constitution. Montana and Texas passed emergency laws to expand where constitutional carry is recognized, including places that were previously off limits. Tennessee's Attorney General sent out statewide guidance saying all local permit requirements are now void under the new understanding of the Second Amendment. South Carolina and Alabama are looking at state constitutional amendments to reflect the federal ruling, locking in protections that go beyond what the current court can change. What's really important here is that these states aren't just reacting to news. They're preparing for long-term legal battles. They're writing laws that will be harder to overturn in future fights. And maybe most importantly, they're showing that freedom can spread fast when the courts open the door. One of the biggest effects nobody's talking about is what's happening with law enforcement. Police departments and sheriff's offices across the country are stuck in legal confusion right now. Here's what they're dealing with. Some departments are still asking for permits even though the law just changed, which is causing tension with state attorneys general and sheriffs. Local prosecutors are dropping charges related to permit violations because they don't want to risk getting sued. Constitutional sheriffs in counties across Arizona, Georgia, and Idaho have publicly said we will not enforce permit checks. This is a rare moment where federal law, state policy, and local enforcement are all crashing into each other. But one thing is obvious. Enforcement of carry permits is falling apart fast, and regular citizens are caught in the middle of it all. Gun control groups didn't sit quietly after this ruling. Within hours, they launched media campaigns, emergency fundraising drives, and even started writing new laws to propose. Here's how anti-gun organizations responded. Every Town for Gun Safety called the ruling a national disaster. Giffords PAC promised $20 million to fight the decision at the state level. Brady United is working with governors in blue states to introduce new training requirements as a way around permitting. California and New York introduced proposals to classify more areas as sensitive places, making most public spaces off limits for carry. Here's the problem with their strategy. None of these measures can survive long-term if they violate what the court just ruled. But expect a legal battle where gun control advocates try to keep restrictions alive using loopholes, technical definitions, and public safety arguments. This moment is bigger than just one law or one court decision. It's a massive shift in how the Constitution is understood when it comes to gun rights. This ruling doesn't stand alone. It's the latest piece in a long chain of constitutional wins that are all coming together now. The bigger picture looks like this. This ruling builds on what Heller did in 2008, which said individuals have the right to own guns. It lines up with McDonald in 2010, which applied that right to the states through the 14th Amendment. It continues the momentum of Bruin in 2022, which required a text, history, and tradition test for all Second Amendment cases. And now it takes that test and applies it directly to carry permits, creating a precedent that can't be reversed. Modern policy preferences can't override historical rights anymore. What we're seeing is the collapse of a decades-long legal strategy by anti-gun groups. They hoped they could outlast the court and wait for things to change. But with this decision, the court isn't just catching up with the times. It's leading the charge. We've entered a new era in constitutional law where gun rights aren't some murky gray area anymore. They're a guaranteed freedom backed by the nation's highest court. With this ruling, America has stepped into a new era. But this isn't the finish line. It's just the starting point. Here's what's coming next. Expect massive lawsuits against permit systems in the remaining blue states. Carry rights will expand into areas that were previously off limits like parks, courthouses, and public transportation. There will be federal lawsuits against states that try to retaliate with new softer bans. The Supreme Court will have to follow up to clarify questions about sensitive places, magazine bans, and accessory regulations. This is the moment when the map starts to shift permanently, and Survival Firearms will be here covering every single change, every single ruling as it happens in real time. Let's be real for a second. Nobody expected this to happen so fast. A future without permits. The DOJ backing it. States rewriting their laws. gun control groups scrambling to respond. But now the ball is in your court. If you think this is a positive step forward, share this video with your friends, your family, and everyone you know who cares about their rights. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Survival Firearms is bringing you updates in real time that the mainstream media won't cover. We keep it factual, no nonsense, and always focused on the Second Amendment community. Drop a comment below. What do you think happens next? Will your state follow the Supreme Court's lead or try to fight back? We're stepping into a new chapter of American gun rights. Stay smart, stay informed, stay free. We'll catch you in the next one. If you found this information valuable, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update on what's happening with your rights.